I'm gonna show you 5 top flirting tips for men so that you can go home at the end of the night without your dick in your hands. Yeah. This is Jen with SeductionUnleashed.com, help you unleash your best with women and beyond. And if it's your first time to this channel and you're interested in dating and relationships, self-improvement and motivational content, start now by clicking that subscribe and bell notification and you won't miss anything. So with that being said, let's go. Step number 1. This right here is possibly my favorite tip because it's actually an anti-tip. And the reason it's so important is because, let's be honest, so many guys, we do this. You know, really, it's not our fault because we get raised watching the movies and seeing, you know, guys basically compliment the girl and call her beautiful. And then we go out and we do that because that's what we hear. We hear that girls want a nice guy. The problem is we take nice and turn it into kissing their ass, which is what you don't want to do. Put it like this: if you compliment her on something, on her physical looks, try to compliment her on something that she worked on. Say like if her hair was a different color or if her style was a certain way. If you do compliment a girl on her beauty, only compliment her once on her beauty. Otherwise, try to compliment her on things regarding her character, her personality, and if you have to compliment on her looks, be it something that she possibly could have worked on, because it'll be that much more meaningful. Just stop kissing these bitches' asses, man. Is it that crazy? I know, dude. Stop white knighting. You're giving the male race a bad fucking name. Okay, step number 2, tease her. Now, this is something you don't want to take too far, but the reality is really pretty girls, especially attractive, really attractive girls, they get, you know, they're constantly getting their asses kissed. So if you're the guy that suddenly it's like, oh, it's a cute bag, my little sister had that. Suddenly, you're not like every other guy who's just like worshiping the fucking ground she walks on simply because she won the genetic lottery. You don't want to be that guy. Just tease her on small things. Don't go too far because, you know, I notice a lot of guys, when they do get good, they tend to get a bit of an ego and they'll protect it by just teasing the girl, and sometimes they tease her too much to where you just forget to actually get to know her. So just tease her enough so that she knows that you aren't, you know, a fucking kiss ass or a pussy. Number 3, relate to her interests. Ultimately, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get to know her. The reality is, the only way you're gonna get in her pants is if you get to know her as a person. You could say she's the most beautiful person ever. You could flirt with her all night, but if you don't even know her name, you don't even know where she comes from, and most importantly, you don't know the things she's interested in, the things that create positive passion and positive, strong emotions in her, you're never gonna get to that point where you're really good. So what if you have interests that don't exactly relate to hers? This is a common question for a lot of guys because, you know, what if you meet a girl and she tells you she's into figure skating and you're like, shit, I never put on a pair of ice skates in my fucking life. I understand that. So here's what you do. What you want to do instead is you want to relate each other's passions. So say she's passionate about something specific like cooking, but say you're passionate about going to the gym. You might ask her what it's like to cook and what she feels or how she got into it, and then just relate that to you working out. Like, oh, you like to cook and you get passion from it and it's almost therapeutic for you. Like, that's really cool because I feel the same. Like when I go to the gym, it's like I'm just pushing myself, and in that moment it's like all of my problems in the world are gone. See, something like that, those kind of interactions, they really count. Those are the interactions that's actually going to get her to see you sometimes. Because I think oftentimes we get caught up with all these videos that show, you know, clever, witty lines, and we see movies, and that's how people in movies interact. They just, everything's a quick back and forth, when in reality, real seduction, it doesn't look like that in real life. Sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it's awkward, but it's okay. Because if you get to that level where you end up just teasing her and relating to her interests and not being a kiss ass, you'll show that you're not just every other dude out there, which is something you don't want to be. Because if you're a regular dude and you're watching this channel, you need to understand that this channel is not for regular dudes. This channel is for dudes ready to make a change in your life. And if you're just gonna watch this video and not do anything, you might as well just click on Pornhub and open up 10 million tabs and just beat off and end up closing all 10 million in shame. I mean, to be fair, I think we've all done that. Step number 4, flip the fucking tables. Here's what I mean by that. What is the dynamic between a male and a female? The male's chasing the girl, we're trying to get them attracted, and they're sitting there basically like, okay, I'll go on this date with this guy and I'll see if I like him. That's kind of lame. They're basically just sitting there on a chair, judging you. Instead, you want to flip the tables. What do I mean by flip the tables? I mean, accuse her of hitting on you. For example, maybe you walk by her on the way to the bathroom and you say, yo, did you just pinch my ass? Or maybe you're walking and there's a girl in the bar behind you. Turn around and say, are you following me? And if she says no, just say, it's okay. Like, I don't blame you. I mean, I'd follow me. I'm pretty sexy. What this does is it's gonna create like a malfunction in their brain because they're so used to guys doing the exact opposite that once you flip that role, they're gonna bust out laughing and they're gonna be interested in who you are. And once that moment happens, it's a perfect opportunity to either get more serious or just shake her hand and introduce yourself if it's the first time you met her. Another one that I really like to do is basically to accuse them of trying to get in my pants. If there's any chance I get to be funny and basically accuse them of trying to take me home and have their way with me or treat me like a piece of meat, like I'm not an object with no emotions. You know, that's the kind of character you want to play, as opposed to being like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I just thought I would ask you, my fair maiden, on this chariot ride, if you would join me. Take your fucking hat off and shit. Don't be doing that, man. Yeah. Number 5, sexualize yourself through little tidbits of humor. I know for a lot of guys it's a bit troubling trying to escalate sexually because maybe you're used to having a regular verbal conversation and then, you know, just moving on sexually, it's not as smooth a transition. So this is basically to help you smoothly transition to a more sexual kind of energy. And that's basically just a joke about things that imply you are a sexual being, for example, or sexy, period. This is especially effective if you aren't prototypically sexy. Like if you're super duper sexy and you're talking to a girl and you make some slightly arrogant, humorous jokes about how sexy you are, it might come across a bit arrogant. But if you're not sexy like that, it'll actually come across hilarious and it'll actually give you that kind of image of just not giving a fuck, which is extremely attractive. So if you dig this video and you want to see more kick-ass videos on dating, relationships, self-improvement, and motivational content, start now by clicking that subscribe and bell notification. And remember, until next time, unleash your best, and confidence is bred by competence.